Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? We got a couple of things to open up this morning and an announcement to make. That's right. It is now what? The fifth month of the year. January, February, March, April. It is now the 1st of May. May 1st. May 1st. We got two packages to open. We got one from Cherie Ward, and we got one from J Dog. J Dog is an Iowa brother, and he had some stuff posted on his website, and I bought them. And then we got Cherie Ward. Cherie is out. Where is she at? Coldwater, Michigan. She's up there in the Coin Cruise State, in the Tule State, and Gold Snipe and Farmer State. Who else lives up in Michigan? Terrence Pop from Redonkulous.com. Battledorf lives up there. Jimmy Bones. Marine Dave. That whole crew lives up there. Anyway, I had to fix that little critter. See that thing where it holds my phone? It's got a light. Come here. Don't fall over. It has this nice little control here. And it has this, where it plugs into your computer USB cable. Well, guess what? This piece of shit, as I was using it, there's two little wires that attach in here, and it got pulled out. So I had to take this all apart, take it out to the shop. I resoldered them two little wires, and I'm going to tell you what, them are some microscopic little bastards. So I got it resoldered, brought it in, retested it. She works now. So I will have color. The announcement that I wanted to make was that I think this Sunday is when I'm going to do my 200th customer appreciation. And what I have decided to do was we're going to give 4 giveaways. One of them is going to be this Wyoming Goldback right here. And we got 4 little packages of coinage to give away. You see the letters on here. This is what's going to be on these bags. And we're going to do this giveaway like Durbin does his giveaways. You got to be 18 years old or older. You have to have a United States mailing address because I'm not shipping overseas. You're going to get one guess in a chat. When I put go in the chat, then you start putting capital letters only, capital letters, one guess per person. No multiple guesses, just one guess per person. If somebody else picks your letter before or after you do, tough shit, that's what you got. And then when all said and done, we will pick it up. We will find the first correct letter. And that will be by my computer, my phone. And we will give that away. I got 3 of these bags of foreign coins. Don't believe there's any silver in there, but if there is, all the better for you. Then another thing we're going to do is we're going to have an auction. It's going to be a buck and go. We're going to do 3 items. There are 3 different $1 gold backs right here. There are 6 of them, I believe. Did I say 3? 6, I meant. We got 3 items to do, but I got 6 gold backs right there. So those are all going to get auctioned starting at a buck and go. We have a coin collection. And let's see if you can see it real quick here. Oh, upside down, of course. The 110th anniversary of the Postal Express train. There is a 3 coin set here. One is silver. That one's silver. That one is copper. That one is a different material, kind of like it's a burnished, I don't know if it's pewter, if it's brass, if it's bronze, don't know. But that is a 3 coin set. That will also get auctioned at a buck and go. The next item up for auction will be 2010 United States proof set. With all of your information, the presidential dollars, the presidential or the quarter is the dollars here. And then, yeah, the proof set there. So you got them all. It is a complete set. That will also be at a buck and go. And then we're going to have one other item. And this is going to be for people who really enjoy their coins. We have coin stands. We got a bag of 15 coin stands. And they are just like that coin stand right there. Exact same thing. And the thing that's going to go with it will be this packet of game cards. Scratch off game cards. You got that many. Also, buck and go. So we got those 4 items. We're going to do it this Sunday. And we do it when I get up. When I wake up. That's when we're going to do that. And that's the way we're going to do it. So be in chat Sunday morning sometime. And we'll have a little appreciation for all of you 200 and some odd subscribers to my channel, which I really, really appreciate. I never thought I'd ever have 200 subscribers to a channel where I open packages to show you what I bought. Yeah, we did a little racing. I come up and help Ginger every once in a while. I've been on Snoopy's and Gremlins and Megs and Brad V's and been up with RC and Sterner and Nash and Paz and Madden. But I'm going to show my appreciation to you guys by giving you a chance to get some stuff cheap, to win some stuff, and then we'll talk some shit while we're at it. All right, let's get something. Open up this package from Miss Cherie Ward. I got to go out the shed today. I got to look through some coins. I need to look for something for Kiwi. And then I need to go up to the LCS tomorrow, I believe. I have, I got some gold. I got some gold in there, some rings in there I got to take up. I'm going to sell some scrap. Plus, we're going to have them look at all these chains in here. Gold chains, silver chains, don't know. I'm going to have him test them. And sell them. And got to bring the cash home for my brother. So, without further ado, let's open this up. I didn't see anybody up this morning when I got up, so I ran out, checked the mail. So let's just open this up, should we? I don't know what I got from Cherie Ward. Unless I bought something on Mama T's from her, which is entirely possible. And something is taped down inside. Something else in there. Oh, a little card. Nice, okay. Got that going on. Get out of there. Let's take that tape off there. Take that tape off there. Let's see what we got for card. Uh-oh. You talk about nice handwriting, too. Look at that handwriting. Really nice, man. Oh, it's a thank you card. Appreciate thank you cards. Congrats, Gooma Gary. Thank you for your purchase. Again and again, I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you, my friend. Enjoy. Best wishes, Cherie Ward. Very nice. I appreciate cards like that. I really do. All right, let's put that over there. What do we got? I can't remember if I bought me. I don't know. Shoot. It wouldn't surprise me if it's something Canadian. It would not surprise me, and it is something Canadian. Oh, let's see. What is this? Okay, it's a 5/9 fine, or 50%. It is the 1989 Mackenzie River crossing. I don't think I had that one. I really don't know if I have that one or not. I'll have to check, but there's no sense not having another one, especially that good looking. Look at the cameo on that. That's nice, man. Look how deep that is. You see my piano back there. That's nice. That's really nice. Nice cameo. All right, well, that's kind of what I was thinking. We bought another Canadian coin, but again, you just never know with me. It could be Canadian. It could be all kinds of stuff. So good. We got some Canadian. I love it. I love it. I want some more of it. All right. I know you got something from J-Dog here. J-Dog, it seems like, is from Council Bluffs, Iowa, which would be down over to the southwest of me. If you guys have ever heard of Omaha, Nebraska, then you've heard of Council Bluffs, Iowa, because they're right across the river from each other. Oh, look at it. We got a whole bunch of stuff in there. Yeah. I got to keep the addresses now. So 515. Okay. You've heard of the Quad Cities of Iowa. Well, the Quad Cities are over to the southeast of me. That's 2 cities in Illinois and 2 cities in Iowa, across the Mississippi from each other, but one big metropolitan area. And then Omaha Council Bluffs area is the dual city over down to the southwest. And about the same latitude of the state, too. Oh, I like that. North Dakota, 2006 S. It's a PR70 decam, first day of issue, blah, blah, blah. Nickel. I do like that. Label, though. Never saw that before. International Grading Service, IGS. That's the quarter. That's the label. Hold on a second. Let me take a look. It's got smaller lettering. Okay. IGSgrading.com. It does have a serial number on it, but pretty nice coin. Herd of buffaloes. Well, a couple of buffaloes. I don't say a herd, but a couple of buffaloes. Kind of a neat little coin. Then what do we got here? We got some Grammys, half Grammys. What else? What all in there? Let's see. There's a Val Canby Grammy. There's let me see, 2 Val Canby Grammys. There is a race car Grammy. I don't know what that one is. Cannot tell for sure. And it's sealed up. I don't really want to unseal it, but there it is. Now it'll come loose. A U.S. CG Grammy. I think I got another one of them someplace. And then there is a United States of America 1/10 troy ounce E pluribus unum looking coin. It's got a walking liberty on it, like an ASE, but a 1/10 ounce. It says "In God We Trust" on it. It says Liberty. But it does say 1/10 ounce, 1/10 troy ounce, 999 fine silver on the back. United States of America, E pluribus unum, but no numismatic value. So it is not a United States coin, but it is 1/10 of an ounce of silver. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grams of silver right there. Then, what else did he have in that package? He's got a Apmex 1/4 troy ounce silver round, and he had a, what is this other one? Another United States of America. Looks like a you know what? we're just going to open them. Because I can't see what it is. It's a Morgan look-alike. I think it's a 1/4 ouncer. Yep, 1/4 ouncer. And then the Atmex is a 1/4 ounce round too. Now look at the difference in the size of those two. Look at the difference in the size of those two. And they're both 1/4 ounce. So you figure that out. One just a little thicker than the other is all. Okay, so there's a 1/2 ounce silver. Then what we got here is, and I'm thinking, oh, we got a Canadian in there. Ooh, that toned up pretty nice too. I don't know what that is, but okay, that's the eagle plucking fish out of the lake. That's a 2015. Look at the toning on that. Can you guys, I don't know, can you see that color? Oh, that kind of brownish copper color? That's not a copper coin. It is a silver coin. But man, that is just some coppery color. Hey, Jag fans here. John Jacobs here. And Bits. That one's kind of interesting. And then we got a buffalo. I don't think, is that an ounce buffalo? I got to look at that. Yeah, it's a 1/2 ounce. A 1/2 ounce buffalo. I don't know if I have any of them. That's awful. I don't know if I have any 1/2 ounce buffaloes. I got plenty of 4 ounce buffaloes, but take some of this tape off here. There. That is just a really different color on that. I don't call it maple leaf, but on this Canadian coin right here, that is just a really, really odd color. Let's see if I can bring it up here so you can see it a little bit better. Maybe, just maybe. There, I'll just, that ain't gonna set. Maybe it'll set like this. That odd color. Look at that. Look at that odd color. I don't know. Can you see it really well? Just an odd color. Really nice. Then the last thing that's in the package was this. Oh, it's a Sunshine Bullion. A Sunshine Bullion. It looks like in the original packaging, bar yet. With the engravable back. So that's kind of neat. So we got some stuff. We did get some stuff. And we got all that little stuff. I don't know if I can have to back stuff up here a little bit. Back stuff up here a little bit. And get back in there. I'll just take that out of there. And then we got our Mackenzie River crossing Canadian. So there you go, man. Got a bunch of stuff. Oh, looks like I got to move it over again. Don't it? Everything just got to get moved over. Yeah, that's the way you do it. You just drop everything. You just drop everything. There you go. That's what we got. That's what we got. The biggest thing was making the announcement today that I want to come up on Sunday and do the giveaway and do 3 or 4 bucket goes, just so you guys got just flipped a 2023 VBD, a V-cent, a 5 cent, huh? A nice. I only have a couple of flying V-cents. Oh, I only have a couple. I could probably have had more, but I'm not a collector of them, so I don't know for sure. What I will tell you is that we are going to pull this up here like this, and then pull this up here like this, and you'll notice, somebody told me that cat, dog butchering, skinning, trapping, my butchering room videos might be interesting to people. Let me pull my table back here just a little bit, and then we'll come right back. But I do have pictures and stuff from my butchering room and from the skinning room, and so I thought I would put some of those thumbnails up, and I'll try and do some videos and see if I can't get them uploaded. Ever since my daughter offloaded all my photos and videos off of my phone and put them on my hard drive, it doesn't seem like I can take a video or pictures on my phone and upload them. It just doesn't seem like I can do it. And I haven't got it figured out yet why, but I think I will do more videos because that way I can handle guns, and then I can show you some of my old weapons, like over there in the gun case over there and over here, and then my carry weapons and my other hunting rifles all in different safes down the basement and in my bedroom, out in the shed, and wherever. But I thought that I would do some of those for you, and it just, I don't know, maybe people want to see that stuff. Don't know. But yeah, the big announcement was we are going to do the giveaway on Sunday when I get up, whenever the hell that is. Don't care, don't know. And I'll wait. When I go live, I will wait for like 20 minutes to a half hour until everybody gets into chat that's going to come into chat. And that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it just like Durbin's auctions, just like he does his giveaways. It's going to be 18 years or older, U.S. mailing address, capital letters, one guess per person, no multiple guesses or doubles or triples. Have to wait until I say go in the chat. And then the first one, whoever I say is the first one in the chat, and that's by my screen or screens, will be the winner. Then we'll have 3 little bags of foreign coin. And if there's any silver in there, more power to you. I don't know if there will be or not. I don't normally go through all that foreign stuff, but it could be. And the one Wyoming $1 gold back. That'll be the 4 giveaways right there. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 buck and goes we're going to do. You guys might be able to get some stuff cheap. And if you get it cheap, more power to you. That's just to show you guys that I appreciate you subscribing to this channel and listening to my bullshit, most of the time just bullshit and opening packages. I do have, coming from, was it Jade's Adventures down in New Zealand or Australia, I got a pan, a snuffer bottle, and a vial coming from him through Kiwi. And Kiwi's putting together my package, so God knows when that'll be here. But I'll look. That could be 6 months from now. I don't know. But I want to get some gold panning content put on the channel because I think that'd be fun. I'm interested in gold panning, always have been, and treasure. And, you know, I grew up reading stories about the treasure of the Las Madres, gold treasure out west, gold treasure out east, Civil War treasure that sunk in the Great Lakes, just and it's always interested me. So as I get older and I'm not more physical, I'm going to start doing that. And I do have a river that runs through this property here for about a mile, so I'm going to go down there and like I explained to you before, it's just a little river. It starts right up in Minnesota, about 20, 30 miles away, comes down through, goes down through our property here, neighbor's property, down through my nephew's property, down, and goes into the Big Cedar River at Nashville, Iowa, which is like another 40 miles downstream. Just a very short river. Called a little river. I call it a big creek is what I call it, but it's actually a river. It's on the map. It's the Little Cedar River. And we have the Big Cedar River over to the west. And we have, what's the other one? Oh, hell. There's a couple other rivers up here. And they all flow together down at either the Big Cedar and then into the Iowa and then into the Mississippi. But I always thought that there should be some gold in there because we're right at the end of the, which glacier was it that came down through? The Osage Glacier? That came down through here. But there are multiple little fingers to those glaciers. They don't all just, it's not just one big wall and it comes down, it stops, and then starts to melt from there. No, there's all these little fingers that go and all these little grooves and stuff. And so, yeah, it could have brought gold. Could have brought gold. Could have deposited it. Don't know. I don't know anyone who's ever prospected for gold around here, ever. Really? Someone just found 600 gold coins in the Czech Republic? Oh, man, were they World War II era or before that? Ancients. Wow. Something the Nazis hid? Man, I'm still wondering about that train load of stuff that's buried in a mountain tunnel someplace. I don't know if it was in Poland or where it was at. Someplace in Europe or Western Asia. Someplace. There's a lot of gold that is still lost. A lot of gold that is still lost. 10% finder's bonus. Man, yeah. Nice. Gatita.
You make me laugh every time you say that. That's funny as hell. I know you never forget. You make me laugh as much as Meg does when she giggles on her streams. God, that is just an infectious laugh. Oh, Lord. And if you guys could see me when I'm sitting here watching streams at night and I listen to Meg and Gremlin and, oh, it could be Second Chance or Sassy Susan or whoever. Meg just cracks me up. I'm sitting here in my living room laughing out loud at night. My wife is in bed in the next room. She comes out and stares at me because I'm being too loud because I'm laughing so hard. Oh God, yeah. So much fun. And Gatita, you make me laugh the same way. The same way. Oh man. All right, what am I going to do today? I got to go out the shed. I got to go to the safe. I got to look through some coins. I got to find something for Kiwi. I am trading him something for that New Zealand Southern Lights coin that he has. But I have to find something appropriate because that's a high dollar coin. So I got to find something appropriate. He doesn't like gold. He likes American. And I think I know what he wants, but I hope I have it. I don't know if I have it. And I thought I did, but maybe I don't. I have to look. Okay, man. Oh, and I don't really want to ruin it for you guys, but I sent Steve looking for beaver, Steve looking for silver. I sent him a package, and he should get it this week. I don't know when. I will look at the informed delivery and see when he gets it. But he will get a kick out of what I sent him. And I'll give you a hint, guys. You remember what used to be sitting up here on my table, right? Well, Steve looking for silver got that. And so we'll see. We'll see if he appreciates it. I'm going to get a laugh out of it. I hope he gets a laugh out of it. And then follows through on my instructions in the package. Um, it can be a great teaching tool for kids. And we had a lot of fun with it. We had a lot of fun with that stuff here in the streams. Um, and I've had that thing forever and ever. I don't even know where I got it anymore, but it's I'm to the age where I have to start getting rid of stuff, and there's stuff that I have that means maybe something to me, but that's all. It doesn't mean anything to anybody else, and it's like my hat I got for my birthday from one of my nieces. It's a fishing hat, but it's got a fucking catfish embedded on the bill, sticks out either side. You know, stuff like that doesn't mean anything to anybody else except me. And it's time to start divesting myself of some of that stuff and giving it to other people who would appreciate it. So it can be passed on and on and on. And some of the stuff that I pass on can be used as learning tools. It's like I sent Meg. I went to Dollar General when they did the whole cancel culture for Aunt Jemima. Tried to find the last Aunt Jemima packages of pancake batter, pancake syrup. But I went in Dollar General and I found one package was left of Aunt Jemima cornmeal. So I emptied the cornmeal, and I have that, but and I'll use that because I use that a lot for breading and coatings and stuff. But the bag itself that showed Aunt Jemima on it, I sent that. I cleaned it out and sent it out to Meg. I said she would appreciate it, and to please use it to teach other people about Aunt Jemima and what they did to her family when they canceled her from off of those packages. The amount of money that they cost that family. Just amazing. And the woman was a world famous cook. So yeah, stuff like that, stuff that can be used as learning tools, stuff that other people would get a kick out of and appreciate. But I have a house full. I have 1, 2, 3 sheds full of stuff that I need to divest myself of, get rid of some stuff. I have a 16-foot Starcraft boat out there, a ski boat that I bought from a widow of a friend of mine, just simply because she needed the money and couldn't get rid of it. So I bought it. And we've had it out on the river, me and the girls. I took them out tubing and whatever. It's got a 70-horse Evinrude on it. Or Johnson. 70-horse Johnson on it. Same thing. Johnson, Evinrude. Yeah. Runs great. Works great. It's got a Shorelander trailer. The only drawback I can see is that it's a single axle trailer instead of a double. But hey, it works. I've taken it up to Wisconsin, had it here on the river a couple of summers. I had it gone through completely, the motor gone through completely. Didn't use it last year. It was the year before I used it. And I will drag it out of the shed, and I keep it shedded all the time. And I will put the motor in a barrel, and we'll run her again this year. But, I'd like to get about $3,000 for it. I think it's worth that, and I have a little fishing boat, a little 14-foot V-hull fishing boat with what I got, a 15-horse motor on it. And I got a 6-horse motor I can put on if there's motor restrictions on the lake. And that's as big a boat as I need. If I'm going to go fishing on bigger water, I will hire someone. I'll hire a guy. We've done that several times. We did that once up in Wisconsin, did it up in Minnesota, South Dakota. So yeah, I'm not opposed to doing that. Let someone else own the gear, and I'll just rent. There comes a point in your life where you have to, you no longer accumulate. You start to divest yourself of stuff. Going through my investments and my coins, inventorying my guns, scopes, accessories, blah, blah, blah. And putting those inventories in a folder with the websites, with point of contacts, phone numbers, web addresses, passwords, and that kind of stuff. All that stuff needs to be listed, put in a folder where your next of kin, and tell your next of kin where that stuff is at so they know. My daughters all know where that stuff is at. My daughters all know what I got for guns, what I got for coins, where the keys are, where the combinations are, where the security cameras and the hard drive for that's at, how to turn on and off the alarms so they don't have the sheriff show up. All of that stuff they need to know. It all has to be written down and left where they know it's at. So when something happens to you, Boom, there it is. I have made my wishes known as far as what I want when I die, how I want my body disposed of, and I have paid for that 10 years ago already. I'm being cremated by the Eastern Iowa Cremation Society, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. They are providing transportation, they're providing an urn, they're providing death certificates, notarized death certificates, all that stuff. All that stuff. It's all paid for. The only thing that I haven't done is told people where I want my ashes put. But yes, I've written that down. I want my ashes. I want a tree, a hickory tree or chestnut, planted in my ashes in the ground, where that tree can grow undisturbed for 100 years. That's where I want my ashes to go. We had a friend, George, who was a skydiver friend. He died. He was cremated, and they put his ashes, most of his ashes, the majority, his wife got and interred those. But he made up, or she made up, the family did, little bottles of George, little plastic bottles of George's ashes. So I had a couple of them, and I took them out, and I planted some trees, and I emptied his ashes into each one of the trees that I planted. Now, all 12 of those trees didn't come. I think I got 8 left. 7 or 8 of them left are still growing. If the damn deer would leave them alone. But they're hazelnuts. And the wildlife will eat those hazelnuts for the rest of my life and how far down the road. But every time I look at those trees or take care of them trees, I know that a little piece of George is in the roots and nurturing those trees. So, yeah, that's what I want. And I got that written down. I just don't have a spot for the tree to be planted. I guess it would have to almost be in a national park or a state park, because any place else would get cut down around here. What? What? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And I know there are people in the streams that are older than me, actually. Snipey Mikey, he's, God, 5 or 6 years older than I am. Excuse me. Excuse me again. And I'm sure they all have the same thoughts. I'm sure people all have the same thoughts. What I found in our coin community, and I call it our coin community, even though I've only been here for a couple of years, and there have been people here that for 8-10 years. I've only joined this community in the last couple of years. When I was laid up with this ankle refusion that I had done, and couldn't do anything for a year. I sat in front of a computer, and that's when I found you guys. And I think I've made some pretty good friends. I haven't met anyone yet personally. However, I do talk to Ginger on a regular basis. And there are several people from Iowa here. We got J-Dog, we got Skycast, we got Ronald Harris. He's from down southwest also. I don't know anybody up by me unless they're in Minnesota. Shift Kicker wasn't that far away. Pedro's up, not a couple hours away from me. Joe Durbin's up, it might be about 5 hours away. And I'm close enough to Milwaukee. I'm only like, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes away from Milwaukee. So I'm that close to Wisconsin, that close to Minnesota. And I guess maybe if I really wanted to, I could either travel up and over or I go around the lake through Illinois and go up to Michigan. I think it'd be easier to go up through Minnesota, Wisconsin, to go over to Michigan. And I could stop and see several people up there. But maybe that's what I'm going to do here as I get older, is just travel a little bit more and go meet people. Darren and Daryl, they're out in North Dakota. And my brother-in-law is up there. And I'd like to go up and see him. I am going to go, I'll probably stop on the way out. I'm going to go to Montana this summer and see my buddy, Denny. Lost his wife 2 years ago, so I should probably go out and see him. I don't care about it popping, John Jacobs. I got an outside wood burner. It's a hydroponic stove, so it's the burn box is surrounded by water. The water gets pumped into the house through the radiator, and furnace fan blows the hot air into the house. It also goes over to my hot water heater and then heats my hot water. So if it pops out there, I don't really care. If I have a chimney fire out there, I don't care. I've had a couple chimney fires out there. I don't care because it's 50, 60 foot from the house. And why I bought that stove is because we had a wood burner in the basement. It was an add-on to our forced air furnace, to our LP. And we would burn wood down there until I had a chimney fire in the house. And granted, it wasn't a bad one, but I wasn't home. My wife wasn't home. I had my daughters were here by themselves, and they called me on the phone, and they could hear it roaring up through the chimney. But and I clean that chimney every year, every spring. To clean that chimney, and we use creosote destroyer in the stove. So, but what happened was at the bottom of the T, because you have the output from the stove, and then there's a T. There's a clean out down here, and then the stovepipe goes up, right? Well, there had been creosote that had leaked down into the T, and that's what was on fire. And I told him over the phone, shut the damper, shut the door, get the fire extinguishers right down there, spray it inside the stove, shut the damper, shut the stove, shut the damper up on the chimney, shut it off. And they did all that. And I called my neighbor. He ran up here real quick. He's a mile away. He got up on the house, on the roof, took fire extinguisher and shot it down through the chimney. And that put it out pretty much. That creosote was still smoking down in the clean out down there, but I cleaned that out afterwards. We had the fire department was called. I told the girls to call the fire department. They were here. They got here at the same time I did, which was about 7 to 8 minutes, because they're only 10 miles away, if that, 8 miles away. And it's a volunteer fire department, but that stovepipe runs up to the closet in my bedroom from downstairs and then straight up. And they really wanted to use those axes and cut through that wall. I said, no, hold on, just feel the wall first. Feel the wall. If it's warm, not a problem. If it is so hot you can't put your hand on that drywall, then we'll go through the wall. Turns out we didn't need to. So no property damage. But, volunteer fire departments like and want to use that equipment because they don't get a chance very often. And if they got new equipment, they want to test it. I got 8 of them. I planted 12. I got 8 of them still out there. And the deer keep eating them off. They would grow. Hell, they'd be this tall by now. If the deer would quit eating them. Fucking deer. I swear to God, man. Any hardwood, oak, walnut, whatever, they just eat the buds off them every fucking winter. I don't feed the deer corn in my yard anymore. I used to feed them corn. Turkeys and a deer would come up and eat. And had a big garden out there too. And I planted chard one year. Swiss chard. And the deer seemed to love that. They would dig it up all winter long and leave the trees alone. So maybe that's what I'm going to do again. I don't know. But I did find out one thing. You don't, salt is really good for killing the weeds around your asparagus. And the asparagus loves salt. So it doesn't do any harm to the asparagus and it kills the weeds around it. However, once the deer find that salt, they will dig a hole in the ground so deep. They don't eat the salt. They eat the dirt that the salt has soaked into. And you'll find that if you take a salt block out and put it out in the woods or whatever, the deer won't lick the salt, not like a cow does. But what they do is they wait, it rains and the salt just dissipates into the ground. They eat the dirt that the salt dissipates into around that salt block. And you'll have this little island in the middle of this donut-shaped hole where the deer have pawed out and eaten the dirt. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I found out you don't put salt on your asparagus in your yard if you don't want a hole in your yard. And it takes a couple of years for that salt to go away also. Oh yeah, then they can dig up the dirt around a stump. I understand the concept, but yeah, you don't do that in your yard. I could do that out in the grove because I've taken down some pine trees. But I found with pine trees, you know what you do? You cut that stump off level with the ground. I drill a couple of half-inch holes in it. Put some kerosene in it. And it'll only take maybe a couple of cups of kerosene. Set it on fire and just let it burn. And then the creosote in the stump will continue to burn, and it will take care of that stump. You won't have to dig up. You won't have to dig that stump up. It will burn and burn and burn until the creosote's gone. Because all the creosote in a dead pine tree congregates in the stump. So they call it a lighter knot. One of the first things in survival they taught us in Special Force Qualification course. You use a lighter knot to start a fire. Especially in areas with lots of pine trees. Yeah, my hazelnuts are supposed to be hybrid hazelnuts from the the Tree Foundation and Arbor Day Foundation, and I bought them. I planted them because they're supposed to be 8 foot tall by now, and they aren't. They're 8 inches tall because the deer keep pruning them back. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I do not know what I'm going to do about that. But yeah, we gotta start getting rid of stuff. All right, that was my announcement for Sunday. I am going to run to the LCS tomorrow. Take this scrap gold and silver in, and some of that they have to test. Some of it I've already tested. They're going to have to reweigh it. I've already weighed it, but they're going to reweigh it. Yeah, Black. That one set is just fucking phenomenal. Oh, yeah, that was pretty fast. That one set is phenomenal. I love that. And probably a good thing. Who was it that also likes that stuff? It's not JJ, is it? It's somebody else, but good thing they weren't there. Oh no, that one's not coming back. No. I'm going to have to show you. I'm going to have to do a video of some of the Canadian stuff I do have. You know, I don't have a lot of Canadian stuff like a lot of Canadian collectors, but I have some stuff. I mean, I have a 4-drawer filing cabinet safe, and I mean a hefty goddamn safe, like 1,000-pounder. It was a military safe at one time. So it's keyed and got accommodated. I got 2 4-drawers like that too, but I have 2 of those drawers are full of Canadian stuff. And to tell you how much Canadian I have, there's only 1 drawer that's full of American stuff. So yeah, I got some really neat Canadian stuff. If I was just to sell it for silver content, I wouldn't make half my money back. But as far as Canadian collector stuff, oh yeah, I got some great stuff. The storybooks with the 1/4 ounce or the 1/2 ounces in, yeah, some really neat stuff. And always looking for more, Block. Always looking for more. And I'm sorry I didn't get to your coin box search last night. But I'm one of them guys that I am not interested in errors or varieties or double die strikes or this or that. I'm just one of those guys that's not. And so I think Alberta, and I just saw a thing last night. Alberta lowered its threshold for the votes it needs for a referendum from like 600,000 to 177,000. And what the governor has done has made it much, much easier to vote on a referendum. Now, if they vote to succeed, obviously they're not going to become the 51st state. But what could happen is Canada could split into 2, east and west, with maybe a little bit of portion of the northeast, the maritime states up there, going with the west. But I believe that's what's going to happen in the near future. I'll bet before I die anyway, within the next 15, 20 years, is that Canada will split into 2 nations. And you'll see the western half of Canada has a really good trade relationship with the United States, and the eastern half will be like the east or west coast of the United States. Well, the west coast of Canada, on the west side of the mountains. Let's put it that way. On the west side of the mountains, until you get up to about Alaska, that little quadrant over there has got politics like Washington and Oregon and Los Angeles. I mean, yeah. And then you got the middle of Canada, the breadbasket, and the maritime states. And then you got the Eastern liberals. And those Eastern liberals are going to more closely align with the Eastern liberals in the United States, and more power to them. They can make their own little fucking nation over there for all I give a shit. And then if anybody here goes to a website called redonkulous.com, Terrence Popp, who is the guy that has that website, Terrence Popp and I used to be in the 12th Special Forces group together. I was a little older and higher in rank than he was. think I was an E7. He was an E5. But anyway, he was in Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, over in Michigan, Selfridge Naval Air Station. And I was over in Arlington Heights, Illinois, over by Glenview Naval Air Station. That's where our reserve unit was. But we were both in the 1st Battalion. He was in Charlie Company and I was in B Company. We did do one mission together because we would go over there and train. They would come over and train, blah, blah, blah. And I remember going to Selfridge one time and training with his team. And I remember him telling the story, him falling on his ass on the glare ice. I remember that vividly to this day. Anyway, go to his channel, redonkulous.com, REDONKULAS, redonkulous.com. If it's ridiculous and wrong, it's redonkulous. He was also a ranger with the 2nd Battalion, 75th. And after he got out of the 12th, went to the 20th. After the 20th relocated from Chicago down south again, he went up to a civil affairs unit in Michigan. So, and then he got deployed to Iraq. I didn't. He did. But yeah, he does go through all that stuff. And maybe that's where I saw it. I don't know. No, it was a different website where I saw that last night. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm going to have to maybe take a trip up there and see him again. I don't know. Most of the guys that I went to the course with or that I served with are in Florida now for whatever reason. Rusty Preston lives in Florida now with his wife. They used to live in Kentucky, and he made a couple trips up here to see me and play some music. I got video of him and pictures of him playing in a local restaurant. I got him gigs while he was up here. So he's moved on to Florida. Dan Villano's moved on to Florida, and his wife. I think Lenny Huff is still out in Chicago. A lot of guys are still out in Chicago area, or Wisconsin, Chicago, right there in that area. The medic on my team when I got out, when I retired, Greg Schandelmeyer, he's a general practitioner out in Oregon, I believe. And he was a medic on my team. He was going to medic school in Illinois at the time, and he's a GP now. One of the guys I served in the 12th with, and I think I was his scoutmaster, maybe for a while. And then he became a scoutmaster. Yeah, he became an FBI agent. He's retired, moved back here since then. Pat Kleckner, Dan Thorson, who was a captain, one of them ossifer types, with 5th Special Forces Group. He lives up here now, not very far away, 15, 20 minutes away from me. We try to have lunch every week together. My neighbor down the road was in the 82nd, so he jumped out of airplanes too. That's John Steyert. Who else we got? Dwight DeBoer lives over in Osage. Now he was in Minnesota, now down and over here. But he was long range reconnaissance with the 2nd Battalion, 75th Rangers. God, who else is right around here? Jack Kane. He was a crew chief on a Huey helicopter. Never jumped out of them, never did the Special Forces stuff, but still a crew chief on a Huey. So he's in our little group. Who else we got? Oh, I'm trying to think. Hey, Jeff Rubin, how are you, buddy? During Top Gun, really? That's kind of neat. Yeah, I was still skydiving heavy when they made Point Break, and I know the place, and I know some of the people that he made jumps with when he was training for the movie. And if I didn't know him personally, I know him professionally by reading about him or reading their materials. So, when you just got the idea to the Air Force E Club. Uh huh. You get in a fight there, did you? Uh huh. Oh, Jeff, I get that question all the time because there are no planes that are perfectly good. There are no airplanes that are perfectly good. Yeah, big brawl, I'll bet. I'll bet. We did the same thing up at uh, where's the 10th Mountain Division at? Fort Drum. We were up there doing an exercise, and we were at the E Club, and the Marines came in, and we had a fight. Because when Marines come in, they want to try and take over everything. Because that's what they do. Marines take over everything. And it's not like we hate each other. It's just like we all kind of like fighting. So I just didn't need to get my teeth knocked out or get a black eye or broken nose. I really don't need that. I got the shit kicked out of me in Germany back in '77, and they put me in a hospital for a couple months with a skull fracture and a concussion. But I don't have any TBI, no traumatic brain injury. I mean, how in the hell can you have a right frontal skull fracture, have your head just curb stomped, be on a medevac helicopter, be in a hospital, and in a drug-induced coma for a couple weeks to allow your brain swelling to go down and not have any TBI? Fucking VA is just a pile of shit. Anyway, I'm redoing that claim. Yeah, if you can't fight with your friends, who can you fight with, right? Nah, we got out of the club because there was a contingent of Rangers up there too. I don't know if they were from the 1st or 2nd Battalion, but they backed us up, and we just decided to leave the club. So we did. No harm, no foul. We had been there all night anyway, so we thought it was probably the better part of valor to retreat and let the Marines have it. No, I was in the military at the time, so I was transported to Landstuhl to the hospital there. That's where I spent most of my time. Then they transferred me back to the States to Walter Reed. I spent a few days there. Then they sent me out to Colorado to the hospital there, Camp Carson or Fort Carson, and then back to Fort Riley where I was stationed. And then I was released from a medical care. I think it was about 2 months' time from the time I got my ass kicked to the time I got back to Fort Riley. And we were just on an exercise. We were on Flintlock. No, we were on Reforger exercise. And so I missed half of that exercise and spent the next couple months in the hospital. But I'm all better now. Yeah, I'm all better. And maybe that's why I know that's why I have temper outbursts. You can ask my wife and kids, or my brother, or my friends, or maybe that's why I was an alcoholic for so many years. Probably not. I think that's more genetic than anything. But we got that kicked, so I got to work on that anger stuff. Whatever. We'll get it. We'll get it. Maybe by the time I die, we'll have this kicked. Maybe. I don't know. When your daughter has to tell you that it's her house and she won't put up with you fighting with her mother, probably you should shut your mouth. Even though you're trying to help and your wife doesn't want to listen to you because she knows better, and your daughter has to intervene and say, all right, you two, my house, my rules, cut it out. Maybe it's time you start looking inward a little bit. I don't know. Anyway. It depends on what aircraft you're taking pictures of, John. We were at an air base in England. I think we were coming home from a flintlock, and there was a U-2 sitting on a tarmac, getting ready to take off. We weren't allowed outside. We weren't allowed to disembark the aircraft. I think we were just refueling, but I snapped a couple of pictures of it outside through the cabin window. And we were told specifically not to take pictures of that aircraft, but I did. So. It all depends, Well, now the SR-71's been retired, the U-2's been retired, and they'll still continue to use them for a decade or better. I think there's still some U-2 aircraft still flying, but don't know that for sure. That one may have been permanently retired, but I know there are SR-71s still flying. Yes, true. They put them in an aircraft museum, but they can only put one in there. The rest of them are, if they're still flyable, they're still flying. Because there's still nothing that touches that aircraft. Still nothing. There's the SR-72. There's the other one, Dark Star. Can't think of it. But I've seen pictures. So yeah, there are going to be some air. We're gonna have aircraft, and I mean the SR-71 can fly at the edge, if not into space, a little ways. I think you're going to see in the next decade aircraft that will fly from the ground into space, into low Earth orbit, actually orbit the Earth, and then man flight back to the ground. I think we're going to see that within, I'm going to say within a decade, maybe 15 years. I think so. And you see that a lot in the skydiving community too. Good pilots, and a lot of pilots build hours in the skydiving community. So, yes, I did, Emo, and I was going to reply to that today. Yes, I am the same person. I am the same person. EMO, are you in Iowa too? I thought you were. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of pilots, young pilots, will build hours in the skydiving community, but you'll find a lot of older pilots that are ex-military that just come out and fly for fun. They don't care about building hours. They just like the vibe. They like the people. It's like being in the coin community, you know. Skydiving has its own vibe, has its own community, has its own type of person, and oh, I got some really good friends in the skydiving community. Ah, man. Some gone, some not. But I have one lady that I'm online with now. I'm friends on Facebook and whatever. I took her on her first night skydive. I put her out of the plane, and I forget what our altitude was, 5,000 feet, something like that. It's not very high at night, not unless you're doing formation. But anyway, I was trying to point out the drop zone and the lights on the drop zone and how it was marked. And she was just getting excited. And I told her, calm down, calm down, calm down. See, look down here, see that light, see this light. And she told me when she was excited, I can't see nothing. And if I can't see shit, then there ain't no squat, something like that. I can't see squat. I can't see shit. Yeah. If I can't see shit, then there ain't no squat. And I remind her of that today. She quit skydiving after her and her husband were divorced, but Timmy still is a tandem instructor out at Skydive Chicago. He's got way over 10,000 jumps, dude. I don't know how many she quit with, but I still rib her to this day about that. She's a dog rescuer now. That's what she does. Hi, Lynn. How are you? And yeah, so it's a different kind of people, but it's like in the military too. It's a different kind of people. You're on the left coast, really? Well, with a name like the Fish Keeper, I could just about imagine you lived on a coast somewhere. You live in Canada, south of Washington State. That would be Oregon block, and you are in Canada. I know where you're at because right here. It's still up here on my desk. I haven't put it away yet. I still have that right up here on my desk. See what it says? That picture came from Toronto, Canada. And I know that's where you're from. Wyoming, Washington. You got Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, Washington, North Dakota. And then you got Minnesota and Wisconsin and Michigan. Yeah, I know where you're at, man. We used to go up to International Falls and cross the border at International Falls when we go fishing up in Ontario. Toronto is not around Washington State. Now, there might be a Washington in Ontario. I don't know. I don't. Could be. Toronto is south of the northern U.S. states. Toronto, Kansas, Toronto, Nebraska, Toronto, Iowa, Toronto, Illinois. Where south? What state? Because the only Toronto I know is in Canada, and that would be north. I'll look at a map when I'm done here. I'm sure there is a Toronto, Missouri, or something like that. Well, maybe if you fold the map in half. I am unclear. I am unclear, Block. I am going to have to look. BB's messing with it. Yeah, I think so, baby. No, I haven't got a lot of when it comes to Canadian stuff. A lot of the older stuff is what I'm after. The old nickels, the old large pennies, um, the older maples and voyagers and snow geese and um, all of that stuff, and then all the special stuff that the mint put out, like the storybook and that the quarters for each province, um, the national parks, that set, the Olympic sets, all of that stuff is what I'm more interested in than the newer stuff like the loonies and toonies, like the clad stuff. Although I like the painted stuff; those are kind of neat. And I almost like to have the set painted, unpainted, painted, unpainted. Because I think I have one. I got one toonie. I forget which one it is. It's a painted, unpainted variety. I think I got it from Durban. Yeah, I got it from Durban. Um, and I thought about collecting all of them, but I'm not really sure I want to collect all those clads. So, but then again, you know, the large cents, I got a whole collection of small cents, a whole collection of beaver nickels, a whole collection of sailboat dimes, a whole collection of caribou quarters, a whole collection of the half dollars. And those are the ones I'm more after, the older half dollars, to shield half dollars, because they're the ones that are getting hard to find. So yeah, I got a lot of Canadian coinage, and a lot of it is like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, but it seems like 70s stuff is hard to get. I don't know, for some reason. Yeah, I'll have to get with you too. And I got to do more inventory because I have my inventory for, say, the small cents. The inventory is in the bag with all of the cents, or the nickels and the dimes are all the same way. I have what I'm missing in the bag. So I'd have to send you a list, and it'd be a list. So, and then I need to order some 2x2s to put pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters, and 50-cent pieces in so that I can stack them all, because I got a lot of loose stuff. So, DOT. A dot cannon nickel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Three-legged bison you should have kept. Dude, you should have kept that one. Speaking of loose screws, where is my screw? Oh, I had one. I had my loose screw up here. I don't know where it's at anymore. I think I put it away. This chair, the back broke because it was only held on the bottom with two screws that screwed into a metal piece, and then the two arms screwed into the backside of this. And those screws broke out. So what I did is I took all the screws out. I took a threaded rod. I drilled out where the screws went in. I took threaded rod and I fished that all the way through there and put washers and nuts on both sides and tightened it up. Do you know how difficult it is to get threaded rod through this entire back, all the way through the bottom, through that foam, through the stitching, and hit that little bitty hole on the other side? My God, that took me an hour to do 2 threaded rods like that. But I got it done, and I got my chair back. Now, this chair can lay right down like that, or it can sit up like this. I live in this chair, basically. Oh, Block, isn't that the way shit goes? You know what? I don't play the lottery. You know, I used to get a ticket every now and then. I don't play that anymore because all that is just another frickin' tax on me. It takes another dollar or two away from my purchasing power. Iowa has done a real good job. And we have a group here called the ITR, Iowa Taxpayers Responsibility or something like that. We got the income tax lowered, so now we're at a flat income tax rate. And the one thing we got to get, and you know, the inheritance thing is just, the limit is so high that I'll never pay inheritance. My kids will never pay inheritance tax. But the one tax that bothers the fuck out of me is property tax. Tell me why, when you have a property, you own it, you paid for it, your hard-earned money that was already taxed one time, that you have to pay a tax on your property every fucking year. You got it paid off. You paid for it. Now, I'm really not against having to pay a property tax if you lease or rent a property, unless that's in your contract. I'm really not against having a small property tax while you're paying off a property, you're paying off a mortgage. But once that's paid off, that should be free and fucking clear. Because if you don't pay a property tax, even if you're 80 years old, it's been paid off for 40 fucking years, a bank can still come in, or the state can still come in, seize your land, and take it from you because you didn't pay your fucking property tax. That's bullshit. Bullshit. That's the same thing as civil asset forfeiture. It's wrong and it needs to be done away with. There are other ways to raise that fucking money. And if you look, and I've already showed you on the paperwork, I got a property tax increase for this year again. Where does 45 to 55% of that money go? To the fucking school district. I'm 69 years old. I haven't had a child in school for fucking 20 years. 18, let me see, 20, 10, 15 years. Why am I still paying property tax to the school district? I have no kids in school. Haven't been for 15 years. Why am I paying 55% of the money I pay property tax? Why is it going to the school district? That's bullshit. There are other ways to fucking raise money to support that school. Or to support the grader going up and down my road to fucking grade the mud because they don't put any fucking rock on it. Or to dig out the ditches, or to allow farmers to dump fucking boulders in the ditch. You know, if you really wanted to raise some money, you would start fucking fining farmers for dumping their boulders from their fields into the ditch. Because that ditch, yes, they own it, but they don't pay fucking tax on it because it's public fucking property. It was bought with taxpayer money. So the road could go through for the ditch. Now, if a car goes into that ditch, hits that rock, and kills that occupant, who's liable? Who's liable? Farmers should be liable if that rock caused that death because they dumped it in the fucking ditch. There are ways to raise money. Fine them for doing that. Fine them from farming up too close to the line. There are guys that will farm every little fucking square inch, and if that means encroaching onto the public access there, the ditch, because it's supposed to be 33 feet from the middle of the road to there. That's where the property line should be. But they farm into the ditch. How about farmers who actually cut and hay bale the ditches? That grass, they cut it, bale it up, and they feed cattle with it, or they sell it. That's public. That's public fucking grass. Why are they making money on it? That's bullshit. They're not paying property tax on that property. Yes, they own it, but they don't control it. That money should go to the fucking county or state. And they should be fined because they're destroying nesting. Over 50% of public land in Iowa is roadside ditches. That's where birds and shit build their nests and raise their young. Roadside ditches. They should be fucking fined for that. He's fucking, and we're like any other state. You know, our capital is in Des Moines. Des Moines is the largest city in the state. What happens when you get large cities? You get liberal fucking hive mind thinking that doesn't fucking jibe with the rest of the state. And people who live in the sticks, people who live in the boonies, small communities. And they're the ones that are making the fucking laws, the regulations. Oh, I can go on and on. I can go on and on, but I'm not. I won't. We're at an hour and a half now, so I probably should say sayonara. You won the lottery in 86 and you're still with her. Well, that's good, but if you won the lottery, why do you live where you live? Is it because emo I'm talking? And I understand rural California is not like urban California. I understand that completely. It's the same in every state. Illinois is the same way. Iowa the same. Minnesota the same way. But it's the dicks in the cities, the large urban centers that make the rules, that have that liberal hive mind communist way of thinking, where everything's supposed to be a democracy. No, it's not supposed to be a democracy. The founding fathers actually fought against the democracy because they knew a pure democracy was anarchy. We live in a representative republic. That's what our form of government is. We are not a democracy, never have been a democracy, never will be a democracy. We are a representative republic. That's what the founding fathers envisioned. That's what they adopted. That's what we have. So quit calling this a democracy. Oh, she was the lottery. I gotcha. I gotcha. My wife, for all her faults, is an angel because she takes care of me when I can't get around, when I can't do stuff. So, and she's still here. So, yep. Yeah, there's stuff, and I guess the only way to really change anything is for average, normal, middle, lower to middle class people to get involved in politics, especially at the local level to start with. And then if you wish to work your way up. But you notice that every fucking politician in every state capital and every national capital, what are they? What profession are they? They're all fucking lawyers. Every fucking one. I think maybe Donald Trump's administration this time has shown that you don't have to be a lawyer or have a law degree to be a politician. I guess Pete Hegseth would be a good example. I don't think he has a law degree. So I think the only way to change shit is to get involved. And maybe that I'm retired and I don't have a whole hell of a lot to do. That getting involved in politics on the county level, for me anyway, would be something that I should do. Because it's absolutely, it blows my mind the way there's no creative thinking, no out of the box thinking when it comes to raising money. Or there's no common sense thinking as we have to request more money so we can spend more money so we can request more money the next year. No, save some of the money that you got so you don't have to request so much next year. But see, that's not the way the federal government works. That's not the way the state government works. There's no incentive for saving money. And people in this country, the last 3 generations anyway, have had it so good that they expect that this is the way it should be the rest of their lives. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think people have had it too good for too long. And I do believe we are in the 4th turning. Soft men create hard times. And we are going to see some hard times, I think. But it will all turn out for the better because that circle will come right back to hard men creating good times. Everything is cyclical. Everything is cyclical. So, yes, AOC was a bartender. And her intelligence level shows it. In my opinion, she would be better served serving drinks as opposed to trying to serve in Congress. But does some of the things she say make sense? Certainly. Certainly. I won't argue that point at all. Is 80% of everything coming out of her mouth bullshit? Yeah. Yeah. Because she has become one of the clique, one of the chosen few. Let's look at her net worth when she was a bartender. Let's look at her net worth right now. And then let's follow that money trail and see where that money came from. And she says stupid shit just to get votes to get reelected. That's her whole job right now, is to get reelected. Is it to represent the constituents, her constituents? If she does that as a byproduct of trying to get elected, then yeah. But as a primary purpose for her being there, nah. Everybody, all the politicians, a lot of them, start out with grandiose ideas. And it takes a very strong individual to not succumb to the temptations of the clique, of the powerful elite. And I don't see that a lot anymore. I think Trump is one of those guys, but I also think he got the speech saying, yeah, we're going to let you do this, we're going to let you do that, we're going to let you do this. But you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that, you're not going to do this. Otherwise, we're going to take your ass out. And your whole family. We'll kill them all. I honestly believe he got that speech. Do I agree with everything Trump? Nope, not at all. I'm a 70% Trump guy. 70% for, 30, 35%. But I am willing to let what he says, what he's trying to do play out to see where it goes. Unlike a lot of other people who have no tolerance for anything Trump. Oh my God, he's the worst thing since fucking Hitler and Stalin and fucking, well, not Stalin, worst thing since Hitler and Mussolini. Just, no. He's a businessman. He thinks like a businessman. Always will. He knows how to fucking make a deal. He does know how to make a deal. And if you don't believe that, just look at the mineral fucking contract we just signed with fucking Ukraine. We'll see what Alberta and a lot of the western provinces of Canada do. We'll see how Mexico turns out. We already saw what he did with the Panama Canal. I don't know what's going to happen with Israel and Lebanon and the Gaza Strip and the West Bank and Syria. Turkey's going to be a big player there. So I don't know. We'll see. I bet Iran will come to the table. I'll just bet that Iran comes to the table. The Houthis in Yemen will become an afterthought. Just thinking out loud. Because Saudi Arabia doesn't want the Houthis around either. They would like to have a compliant Yemen on their border. Granted, I don't trust Saudi Arabia as far as I can throw the fuckers, but they are an ally right now in the Middle East. They are an ally of Israel, believe it or not, because they don't want to see a very strong Iran or Yemen either. So, we'll see how that all plays out. Our biggest adversary has been for the last 50 years is China. And North Korea, because they're just a proxy for China. I'm more concerned with the little clashes between Pakistan and India, because those are both nuclear powers. And neither one of them likes each other at all. And you can badmouth me all you want, I had a Yugoslavian friend when Yugoslavia was still a country, immigrated to the United States. He was a skydiving instructor, and I said, "What the fuck is the problem over in Yugoslavia?" Zoran Rakovic. And he says, "I tell you true, Trapper. It is the Muslims. Has always been the Muslims. They are the ones creating foment in China, foment in Russia, foment in the Middle East, foment here in the United States. They are the cause of most of the world's problems." And if you look at it, you will see that that's true. Muslims and Zionists. Not the true Jew, not the Jew that comes from the tribes of Israel, but the Zionist Jews, who are really nothing but communists. So, we'll talk at you later, guys. We'll see you, Emo. We'll see you, John. JJ, I call him. Gatita, we will see you also. And if you want to discuss something, let me know, and we will discuss it. Oh, wait a minute here. Did I have to check and see. I thought I had made everybody moderators. I thought I did. I wonder if I have to do this every live stream. Add everybody as moderators. So EMO, JJ, Gatita, you are all now moderators. And you'll see that if you make one more comment. But I will go to Jeff Rubin also and make him a moderator. And the only reason that I do that is so you can go to each other's channels. There's Dale M. Okay. And I'm doing it just so you guys can go to each other's channels. All right, very good. All right, JJ, we'll see you later. Emo, we'll see you later. Gatita, everybody, see you later, man. Peace out.